And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Something that's very enjoyable to do is to walk on a canopy walk in the jungle. To go through a jungle and you walk on the canopies and you look around you and you can feel lost in that jungle. Now, I've only ever done such a thing in very safe areas of the jungles in Malaysia, but I would imagine in this game here, it's a much more dangerous thing, and building these canopies would be very terrifying, I suppose. And moving along them, hunting for rubies, well, that sounds exciting, but dangerous. Pretty cool theme, but essentially that theme is not even existent here. What you're doing in this game is you're going to be connecting paths. It's a two-player game. You're going to be connecting paths of your color and trying to connect long paths on the board. Something that's been done in many different games before. Does this one do it better? Let's see. The board actually has two sides. It's a grid. Here you have a grid of trees, and on the other side you have another grid of trees. But on this side they're lighter and they're easier to see the tiles when you put them on the board. So I guess it depends on, do you want to have them easier to see, or do you want a board that is more thematically looks cool? So we're going to go on the lighter side of the board. I think that would be easier. Now, this is a two-player game, so each player is going to have a scoring marker that they're going to start over here, and then players are going to get 5 tiles that they're going to place in their trays. Now, these 5 tiles fit fine in these trays. The problem is that they're really easy to knock over. I found that as I was playing the game that, it's just a bit and the whole thing falls over. And then when you stand it back up, they don't come back up in it. But it is what it is. So I'm just going to leave them flat for now as we're going over this game. Now, what you're trying to do in this game is one player is going to be the dark paths, and the other person is going to be the light paths. So it's easy to tell the difference between those paths. And there's going to be a pile of tiles here, and there's going to be 3 face-up tiles. So on your turn, you can do one of 3 things. You can place a tile on the board, you can discard tiles from your thing and redraw, or you can pass. If both players pass, the game's over. Now, when you play a tile, you get to draw a tile to take its place. You can draw one of these 3 or one of those. When you place a tile, you can place it next to the edge of the board, or you can place it next to a tile that's already out there. However, when you place it already out there, things need to connect properly. So this path connects properly. A dead end is allowed to connect to anything. However, I couldn't do something like this because the white can't connect to the brown path. Now, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make it so that you complete a path. Let's see if I can find these so that we can get them started here. So this is a dead path because it needs to connect to one of the sides. This one here connects to one of the sides, but doesn't actually go anywhere. Let's see if we can get this path around here. Ooh, it's getting close. Okay, it goes to a dead end. Now, you see this path here goes to a dead end. Now, as you are making paths, if you make the path so that it connects to another side of the board or to the opposite side of the board, it's going to be 3 points. So if this had come and connected back to here, for example, I'd get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 3, or 4, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'd be 27 points. If it connected to the same side of the board, like a loop back, or it connects to one of these platforms, which can connect everything, then it would be 2 points. So if this white path here, let's have, for example, this white path here would be 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 6 points. That's what the -1 means. If it runs into a dead end, like this brown path here, then it's only 1 point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'd be worth 7 points. And if the path doesn't connect anything or never goes anywhere, then it's worth no points. But even this white path here is a dead end. So now, as you can see, I'm going to scatter several of the tiles all over the board. Almost every tile has both colors on it. Some have just one color on it, or they have the dead ends on them, or the different platforms. And so, as the game progresses, it's going to get harder and harder because you're going to find fewer and fewer places to put things, and you're going to find that you'll have this tile and it won't fit anywhere on the board because one of the sides won't connect to something else. And again, that might make you have to pass, and when both players pass, the game's over, and whoever has the most points, which are diamonds, I think you're hunting diamonds in this game, you're the winner. Now, Canopy Walk is a game, like I said, is a game that's been done before in a sense. There's many different games where there's interconnecting things, and there's actually, I can think of at least 2 very specific games, though a good one would be the Untitled Pipe game, or I forget what it was called, from James Ernest, where you're connecting different things that go around the board. Metro does it in different ways, and it's not always 2 players like this, but the problem with this game is that it's an interesting concept, but what does this do that we haven't seen before? You're just connecting things around and different things. I'll tell you what it does. First of all, it has a very nice graphical background. That's fine. Like I said, the theme's not really there, but it's nice and looks good. But it also includes tiles that are very difficult to fit on the board. This game is a pain to connect stuff as you play it. At first you have full freedom, but if on the back of the book there's a listing of all the tiles, and you can see those right here. That's all the different tiles in the game, and they're really, I don't know how to explain it. They seem to be designed in such a way that it's a frustrating game consistently, because you build them and you go, oh, what tile can fit there? Answer, nothing. What tile can fit there? Answer, nothing, or 1 tile that's already been played or whatever. The tile selection I thought was very lame, and the game is just really boring. You sit there and there are many of these abstract strategy games that get tighter and tighter as it goes by, and this is one of those. But sometimes when they get tighter and tighter, it gets more and more tense. This one just gets more and more boring, because you sit there for the longest time looking at your 5 tiles saying, can I play any of these anywhere, and will it help me? I don't want to play when it helps my opponent. And then you can't find anything. All right, I'll discard them and draw. Then the next person does the same thing. Finally, you play a few tiles. You get a really nice long, and you can play dead ends. And I guess that's the ha-ha of this, like, ooh, I played a dead end to block you. That would be more interesting if it didn't happen all the time. It's really easy to block people, and it just kind of isn't that interesting. So, yeah, I'm not recommending this one at all. It's a tired re-theming of games that are out there that connect things, but does nothing new other than add a little bit more frustration to the mix. Not a good combo. Canopy Walk. Dice Tower Judgment. Boring.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.